swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Colonel Brady, Colonel Drummond, you'll examine the camera.
What do you consider yourself a religious man?
I'm as religious as the next man.
Well, that means a great deal here in Hillsborough. Do you have any children, Mr. Sillers?
Not that I know of.
Well, if you had a son, Mr. Sillers, or a daughter, that sweet young child came running home to tell you that a godless teacher...
Objection! We're supposed to be choosing jury members. The prosecution is denouncing the defendant before the trial has even begun.
Objection sustained.
Do you have any personal opinions that might prejudice you on the behalf of the defendant?
Kate, I don't know him well, personally. But he did buy some peat moss from my store once, and he did pay his bill.
Your Honor, Mr. Siller strikes me as an honest, God-fearing man. I accept it.
Thank you, Colonel Brady. Colonel Drummond.
Mr. Sillers, I heard you say that you're a religious man. Tell me, do you work at it very hard?
I work hard at the feed store, but my wife takes care of the religion for both of us.
So, in other words, you work at this life and your wife works at the next one.
Objection.
Objection sustained.
Tell me, Mr. Sillers, while your wife was tending to the religion, did you ever happen to bump into a fella named Charles Darwin?
Not till recent.
Well, from what you've heard about this Darwin, would you say your wife would want to have him over for Sunday dinner?
I object, Your Honor. The defense is cluttering the issue with hypothetical questions.
I'm doing your job, Colonel.
The prosecution is perfectly capable of handling its own argument.
Look, I've established he isn't working very hard at religion. Now, for your sake, I want to make sure he isn't working in evolution.
All I do is work at the feed store.
This man's all right. Take a box seat, Mr. Sillers.
Your Honor, the prosecution is not altogether satisfied with whether or not Mr. Sillers will render impartial member of the jury.
Out of order. The prosecution has already accepted this man.
I want a fair trial!
So do I.